Now, I don't know how many times this tutorial have been requested, but now the time has finally come for me to show how to make an ACF helicopter. Don't misunderstand me, we will do a very simple ACF helicopter because it's very stupid to begin to build a Black Hawk when you might need to begin to build a little bird or something like that. So from scratch we will create an ACF helicopter that's powered by ACF and have some very light ACF gun and some rudimentary control functions. So we will begin to build a simpler body. A simpler body of some simpler plates. This might be an adequate plate to use as a base plate. And then we will take a thing to have as a rod in the helicopter, like long like that maybe. So we could use our precision tool and well, recently it has been kind of impossible to aim precisely with a precision tool. I don't know if it's one of those many and frequent stupid Garry's-mod updates. It probably is. But as you can see, the tool it's really hard to make it okay. It's kind of okay, like that. You have to press several times and it works. But here we have a rod welded to the middle of this. Now we take our no-collide tool and no-collide this little thing. This is what I'm talking about, like why can you do this? But anyways, let's not get upset by that. We will make two propellers. So go to wheels and I think this will be good propeller bases. No, it will not. It will not, I'm just kidding. Let's use something else, like a plate. Because if you use the wheel, it's kind of hard to make the propeller in the middle, because I've tried before. Let's use blocks, and we choose a smaller block. Maybe square-shaped, kind of like that. Should be good. Two of those, because we need two propellers. The easiest way to make your helicopter not flip around is to have two counter-rotating rotor blades. Using that little end part propeller is kind of not good for Garry's mod. Anyways, you need two so we can reverse the angles of them. Go to plates and then scroll down all the way to thin plates. And now let's see if the 12 are. Maybe they are good. Let's have a slightly longer. Those, yes. 4 of those. So then we can use our precision tool. And we will have a degree rotation 15, that's good. Freeze them all. And you will make the propellers reversed to each other. So you can see here that these are welded, so we have a propeller. Now the other propeller is very important that it's reversed, as it will spin the other direction. Now we have a precise 15 degrees angle, so like this. And now you can see we have two propellers that are meant to be counter rotating. Let's take our little structures. Oops. And now we will use the move function. So we will move them exactly on top of this little thing. Let's have a snap distance of kind of, damn it, 0. What? Like that. Then we take the next one and just move it on top of this one. Remember, we only have move checked. Oops. Like that. Now they should be kind of decently placed. Now we take the axis center, which is the better tool, and axis this to that, and that to that. With our no collide tool, we just control that this rod is no collided, and it is, and we now can no collide these to everything, because otherwise they will be very funny. Oh, and there is a little detail. We misplaced the axis center, which makes it not working. So let's remove the axis center. And what I did wrong, now that I think of it, was that I didn't hit on that. I hit on the side, and that you can't do. You must hit on the angle you like them to be. So now we have a working counter-rotating propeller set, which is the base of this structure. Now we will go to the weight tool and add in some good weights. Maybe this will be 50 or something. Right in, like 50, 50, 50. And these can be 24 as long, and this is, well, that's okay, 80. Now, we need to have the ACF things loaded on, but we will also make a little control box, which we can decide later on where we want to place. So we just go to the regular plates and choose a little control board, slightly bigger, that we want to have our circuitry. On here we will now spawn some gates. It's the usual stuff, but I go through it for you anyways. Constant value with the values of 100, 1, yeah, and that's enough. Yeah, let's have a couple of values if we want to have some more later on maybe. And we'll also have a pod controller. Pod controller. I still hate that they do not call it advanced pod controller. It's so deep inside me. No one understands. Well, let's go to gates and we'll find the Artemic gates. Here we can find the multiply, because the multiply will be the throttle. Well, I guess that's that for. We add the rest of the circuitry later on. We will use an engine, and we will use a jet engine. Or turbine, actually. It's not jet, it's a turbine. I'm very sorry, because it generates a torque rather than a thrusting force. I hope that medium may be adequate, but we will for this purpose use the transaxial. However, this requires fuel, so we will need a fuel tank. We can spawn the fuel tank right away. We go to the mobility engines, fuel tanks, high grade, fuel tank. And then maybe we should choose, it will be in the air, so we can't have it too small. Now the weird thing with jet engines is that they kind of doesn't matter how big the, or no, not how big, or that too, but it doesn't matter what type of petrol or diesel or, well, what you use to fuel your turbine. Doesn't matter. Maybe that one will be enough. Link them up already. And we can now have our little engine. Place it with this output, to call it simply, right upward. Like that. For balance purpose, it's kind of good to have it in the middle, as the engine is quite heavy. And now, oh yeah, the fuel tank will have the same problem with the fuel tank. So we will actually put the jet a bit higher up so we can have the fuel tank just under. Sensible people as we are, we do weld them to the base plate only. Now take the wire tool and we will have activate on pod controller, and we will have throttle on the little multiply gate. So then we will have A on multiply on 100 and 100, and B on multiply on space. I choose you. Now, this should not be it actually, because we forgot totally to put the activate on the activate for the fuel tank also. Now go to vehicles and spawn a comfy chair. And this is not comfy, but we use it anyways. Where is my pod controller? You know I'm searching for advanced, but it isn't there. Okay, it's now linked. We should now be able to go inside and activate engine. I don't hear anything. That's funny. Or maybe I do. Let's just check the... Strange. Let's use the... maybe I forgot to link it up. Anyways. Well, let's just connect up some gearboxes. For this purpose we should be able to use a differential only, and we will have a differential or inline. No, actually what we want to use is a transfer box. Transfer box of no, now I'm talking. Where are you? Oh yes, it's clutch. I forgot the name of it all the time. It's a stride clutch. We will just use a regular stride clutch. Now let me spawn a stride regular clutch. Stuff. Thanks. Like that. And we will change the final drive of one of them to -1. So we will have a bit different, like that. We will now put them like here and here, so we can see them. Maybe this metal rod is to no use currently, as it was only for building purposes. We had that, so we remove it. Put our gearboxes like that. They actually have to be only roughly in spot, but we do want our ACF menu tool, so we can link up the engine to both of them, and then the upper to the upper, and the well, to both of them anyways. We want our welding tool, so we can weld them to the base plate, and we will have a free structure. Now let's see if we work. We do not. Why do we not work? Okay. I reset the activate on the pod controller. I just redid it and it works now. So now we hear the nice sound and we can basically throttle up. Ah, is that not nice? However, I do believe that this final drive is a bit too heavy. So go to your ACF menu, and now we will change the final drive to negative 0.33. And accordingly, the other one, the 0. This has to be exact, because otherwise it will be totally weird. However, I can see from the movement of the propeller that we will just exactly reverse them. Oops, like that. And then we'll have the negative. Oops, where are you? Here. Like that. Ah. Now it should work. So this is the basic propeller structure. We will test this right away by putting fins on them. Now let's see here. We will have no lift, 100% fin. Place it down on all of them. Get inside, test it again. See if this generates any lifting force. And it does really not. Maybe that's because the speed is too low. We can try to set the efficiency of the fin to something radical like 700. And see if that works better. Now you can see we have a hard time getting it to rotate around. Well, it does create a lifting force, but it is far too weak. Then let's have something better about building a helicopter. It's very much about tweaking. It's all the tweaking, I can tell you. So okay, let's see if we can generate any lifting force now. It's kind of hard to generate much of a lifting force, just so you know, but we will go and check the weights of stuff. This is 80, 400, 100, 10, 10, 50, 50, and 24. Well, if we change the wheels to a bit higher, we might be able to generate some more force, as the wheels will be more responsive, and maybe actually we will be able, if we change these to 50 instead, the propellers or rotor blades, we might be able to generate some. Oh well, I decided to spare you some of the tweaking insanity. Now the final drive is changed to 0.1 and minus 0.1, which is the least allowed value. Also, there was an update to the fin I made. I discovered it's better, actually when we have this small angle, it's better to have lift plane by normal. And we use it on 100% on all of the 4 rotor blades. And now you can see when we get in and push down our throttle, we actually generate legitimate ACF power lift. Isn't this beautiful? We now have a very basic kind of helicopter. And you can see as the rotors hang, or the engines hang in the rotor, we get a kind of automatic balance. It automatically balances itself up, And this is the beauty of Garry's mod physics. Well, my friends, this is the first part to a working ACF helicopter. Now, we will be going to have to use the wire tool. And now I will test something that I haven't tested ever before. And that is, if we use the clutch on maybe the A key and the clutch here on the D key, we might be able to steer as we detach this one from the engine temporarily, but let this one spin on. We should be able to generate a turning motion with the cost of a little drop, I believe. So let's, oh yeah, it's very responsive. Oh damn it. But I must say, my little turning experiment works like a charm. Okay, but it only works when you use the throttle, and well, just for experiment, let's test something else. Let's detach the clutches and use brake. And as you know, the brake is a 100% thing, so as we connect them directly, we will only connect them to, yeah, 1%. Okay. Maybe 1% of the brakes will be able to make a turning motion. Now, did I connect them really? It might be so that it didn't work, or I connected both to the same button. Let's check it. I detached one, so now it should be turning in one way. No, the little brake experiment did not work. Now that we know that, we will detach this and connect these up again to, well, the clutches. We will have a super responsive steering, but, well, on the other hand, it actually works with no fin, because my very old military helicopter used fintool to steer around, and that was kind of annoying to have this little back side fin. Now our turning will be slightly less responsive if we have some fins to create a forward steering motion thing. That we might add on later, but as it is now, it's not too much of a problem. However, we like to be able to make this vehicle move forward. And you know how you make it. In the real world, helicopters move forward by tilting themselves forward. And how do we do? Well, we can't use a thruster, because that will make the whole thing 100% illegitimate, failed, evil. So we will use a wire weight, and then our helicopter will be 100% ACF controlled. So let's go to our little wire weight. This is in the wire menu, and we want to have a weight, adjustable weight. Here we have an adjustable weight of 5 something units. Yes. Okay, I want it to be very aligned. It's not that important. But to be able to work good, we need to weld it, not parent it. I do not have my welding tool there. Well, anyways, let's weld it on, and we will do a similar construction. Actually, our constant value, it's good we had some extra values, because the default will be 1, and let's set this to 20 and see how much it will generate. So now we'll have some more values which we can change, which is why we'll have 2 values. Now we need gates. I guess we could use some fancy if-then-else gate or something like that. But maybe we should only use... well, make it more simple and use the same gates over and over again so you get a comprehensive understanding. Now we have a multiply gate. But we do not simply want a multiply gate, because if something does multiply to something, then it will kind of be 0, as 0 times something is 0, so we need an add gate also. Actually, maybe I just should have used, or whatever, it's one gate extra. So, on our add gate, put it on the multiply, and put it on the constant value. Now it will have 1. Put weight on this little add gate. Now this will have the weight of 1. So to change this to 20, we need to connect this up to the 20 and the B to W, which will be our forward key. Okay. Let's see how it works. Actually, I want to be on... No, I don't. Okay. Oh, and that we did not want. That I'm sure of. Okay. Freeze it. Aha. We now press W. We have a slight angle and we are moving forward. It seems to be a bit weak, so we will only create a pendling motion, which is really not what we want, so we will change the value to a bit heavier. Let us go to the constant value and change the 20 to something more radical. Maybe 50. Okay. Throttle. Wait. Now it will drop in height as it doesn't generate lifting force, and well, this is a very dangerous balance act, as we don't have the opportunity to use keep upper right or any sheets like this. This is a hard task, or not necessarily hard, but it does require some tweaking. Let's have it something more like more accurate or perfect, if you'd so say. Let's have it to 30. Aha. We have lift, 35 I mean. And now we press forward button and we will generate a little forward moving motion, but also a sink. Well, this can be a bit unpractical, if you'd so say. So maybe we need to have it a bit higher anyways. Let's try 40. Like that. Then we will have the rest of them props we put on. We kind of need to have parented. Let's look at this little gate. Aha. Well, it seems to be working better, but we do drop a bit in height, and it does create a little pendling motion, but this is physics. So, well, it's hard to deal with. It's much easier to use a thruster. If you want to cheat, you can have a thruster that like pins this down into the ground. Then you will not fly by thruster, but it will kind of be a bit like cheating. So, well, also you could add something that manually moves the weight into the front of the vehicle, but that's, well. One could also use the steering system by having 4 propellers all over and just releasing them in the back, and that will create a little shift in movement forward and backwards also, but that's a quadcopter and a whole nother story. So I decided that we just weld these on and go for a little test flight and see if we still generate enough lifting force with our seat and all. So throttle up, and we are heavy. We are heavy. But we do kind of lift, or almost. It's kind of exciting flying only by ACF. Let's see here. We need to generate a bit more lifting force. Also, actually, we don't need a weight on this seat, so we can put it down to 1. Let that be. But let's go to the fin tool and have the efficiency of the fin doubled, and maybe that will add some threshold of making or having a gun on board. Oh yes, now we have a much more powerful system. As I said, you're not limited to the 100. You can have it in 700, 1000. It's kind of unlimited, I believe. But 200 is mostly enough. Now this is a bit hard to control as we has a bit too much lifting power. On a simple system like this, everything has to be tweaked to the exact, and that's the hard thing about ACF helicopters. Especially, or rather, if you don't have lots of E2 to support the systems. Another thing that we will want to do to our propellers is to take the parenting tool, and now this is very important. Remove constraints, disable collisions, set weight. Do not check any of these. They are already welded and they should be welded. Now we can parent them onto that board directly. Now the fins will still work, but they will not flap out or spaz around. They will be more stable. But if you remove constraints, they will stop working instead, because they need that weld to really understand where they are in the world. Sounds deep, but ACF is deep. Or fintool, or anything. Parenting Garry's mod in general is very deep. Well, as we seem to have some opportunities, we could say, to have weapon systems, we should be putting on the lightest weapon we can find. I found a little machine gun of 15 kilos. We can have 2 of them, and we need ammo for them. So let's have, I don't know, armor piercing, high explosive maybe. Never mind, not available. We use just armor piercing, propellant length, projectile. Okay, propellant length, projectile length. Oh no, 12 is the max. Okay. Do we want tracers? Yes, we do. And yeah, that cost us 2 millimeters, but it's worth it. This is too many shots. How heavy is this, by the way? Let's check how heavy it is. 200, too much, too much. Now, this is a balance of weights. Really? Okay, now it's reset. That's really annoying. Or actually we can... No, we can't say... Oh, whatever. I'm sorry. Let's just choose a very small ammo box. That's 1,000 shots. It should be enough. I mean, we don't need that many. Put it a bit in the back to balance up the whole structure, maybe, and also the guns. That will not really be center of mass. Look up the weight of that one too. This is 43. can put the guns around here maybe. We should maybe move the guns when we have a more neat position for them, but until we begin building the model, or I guess you don't really need help building the model, as it's basically just strapping props on, and then I will show you how to parent them on and make them weightless. But let's just begin like this. No, where are you? Here. Put wiring up, or maybe the ACF also. We need to link these to the guns. Is this welded? No, it's not. Weld that one too. Go to the wire tool, activate. Same old story. Fire. We take this on mouse button 2 and the other one on mouse button 1, as they will not be shooting at the same point. So now they are a bit oh yeah, maybe this will not work. Oh, now I turned too much. We are back heavy. Well, if you want to, you can cheat. I will show you how to cheat your balance of your ACF structure. You take a prop that stands like a barrel, then you change the weight of the barrel to something quite small, like 5 or something. I think it's enough. Then you take the barrel, hold C, right click and keep upright. Now your barrel will keep upright. Then you take the no collide tool, right click it, put this ugly barrel around the middle of your beautiful vehicle and just weld it to the base plate. Now this will create some balancing function. It will not balance it out completely, so we will still be able to use the function, but well, it's a half sheet. And how powerful this is decides how much it helps. No, now I missed the point. How heavy it is decides how much it helps. So if we put this to 20, it will generate like 4 times the keep upright force, and I don't know if this will be too much. No, it works. Remember that this is I consider this half cheating, but on the other hand it's kind of impossible to build a regular helicopter without keep upright, so why can't you use it on ACF helicopters? It doesn't really destroy the system, but well. Aha! Now one of the guns isn't connected up, but let's build a model. I decide to half sheet on this helicopter because, well, you can make them balanced. It's not impossible, but it's hard. It's not impossible, but it's hard, as I said. Also, to legitimate this little keep upright structure, all modern helicopters have advanced gyro systems that will generate a steady way through the sky with advanced gyros and lots of fancy stuff. So you could say that this little thing is a simplified model of those advanced systems. If you want to be a bit fancy, you can always create a E2 ship that makes your base plate a bit keep upright and help you on the way, but well, this works too, so why not? However, now that we have this system, we can be a bit more brave on that one, on the forward weight. Remember that you can have a weight set up much the same way in the back of your vehicle if you want to have the opportunity to go backwards, which can be nice as well. this little angle that we create makes us not too fast through the sky, but well, we kind of fly, so that's something. However, to make our way through the sky a bit more controlled, we will have a little steering fin. Well, it will not actually steer, but you could say that this fin is a simulation or model of how aerodynamics work. If you want to legitimate this little helper too, which you shouldn't need, use as many helps as you want and still find cool. So go to your fin tool. Now it's very important that you don't have lift. No lift, I mean. 60, kind of good. Grab it, have it maybe slightly around, slightly in the back, maybe, or something. I don't know. What's the best? We will notice. I should actually add my weld tool in the radial menu. It would be helpful. Okay. Let's test this. Maybe it is now a bit more stable. Actually, I do believe we can make this a bit more powerful. Then in fin tool we go and turn it up to as much as 100, and we will see how this works. Also, maybe I'm a bit curious if we would make the efficiency of the fin of the base plate to kind of 10, how would the structure respond? I think we need to begin to start on flat grounds, otherwise nothing works. Aha! I tried to analyze this a bit, and I do believe that we remove the base plate as a fin, because I think that was a bad idea. However, this one, remove that fin by reloading. We remove the weld, and we try to put it in the front of the vehicle. Now, this will be a bit of leveraging force, if you so say, so the efficiency of the fin can be considerably lower. Now maybe it kind of matters where you place it. Weld it again, and we will now see the effects. I am pressing for us to moving forward. No, I am not, I'm just kidding. Now I am. Okay, now we got into unstable turbulence and almost dies. Oh yeah, I confused myself about which button is moving forward and which button is the throttle. That's why. So I try to keep this balanced up and try to move in a straight line forward, which is harder than it looks. We will now try to move the steering fin in the back of the vehicle. As you can see, I am a bit experimenting as this new turning system that I just made up works better than the older one, but it's not too tested. Whoops, no. Like that. Okay. Now. Maybe this is the better way. to have it in the back. It might be so. I also believe that we should be a bit braver on the weight in the front, so we will change that setting to something higher. Now, I just remembered how I did it the last time when I did a helicopter. Actually, the weight of this is not really as important as the leverage. If we have it a bit far from it, like a bit more away, we will have, or we will use the physics of leverage, and it will change the weight in a manner that will affect the vehicle faster. So, if we put this away, we can make it invisible later on, but if we put it away, we will get a more direct response of our forward, as well as we will not need to put too much into our, or we will not need to make it as heavy as we otherwise would. Let's put it kind of radically in the forward and just see, or in the front, and see what happens. Now, this might be a bit too much, depending on how long the helicopter, or if it's a very long helicopter, it will not really matter, but okay. We try to gain a stable air, which we fail to get. Okay. Now we activate it and we can gain a bit of forward moving motion, but we do in the end crash. Well, tweaking. You will need to tweak so much that, well, I don't know. While in the tweaking, we should strap on some props and make this look a bit better. Also, I do believe that we should move this fin, because I do once again think that maybe it's better if we have it in kind of the middle anyways. So we put it there, we increase it to 100, and then we weld it. Now, let's get some nice props. Okay, a few props fastly threw on, guns moved, and some stuff materialized, I don't know, and colored. Now for the final part that you might want to know. Let's spawn a random gate, and well, on your base plate you will find a middle. How we now do that? There it is. Oh, of course. It's kind of inaccessible. Oh yeah. But it doesn't really matter. Let's spawn it close to the middle anyways. So I think that's good enough. Or maybe I'm not actually 100% that it does matter so much, but just to be safe. Now we want to go to the parent tool. Now we want to check remove constraints, disable collisions, and set weight. We can disable shadows or whatever. This setting will make them weightless. Now they will not really affect anything, and they will only be here for show, so be careful what parts you choose for this little task. Maybe like that, and then just right click on that one. Now we can unfreeze it, and whoops, I did forget to weld back the seat. Now I put it right in front of the intake for the jet engine, because I judged that to be the absolute most safe way to travel. Oh yes. Now we should get to have our welding tool. Oh yes, where are it? Where are you? Like that. Okay, let's get inside and see what we have. As we have set weight activated, we didn't really change any of the functions of the helicopter. As you can see, this helicopter is quite rudimentary and is still hard to control. But let's try. Ooh. I do believe that we are... I think like this, that we actually can make our base plate slightly heavier. And that might make the structure a bit more stable. Whoa. Let's check it. It's 80. 130. Maybe that will do. Okay. We do still have lifting force. We can turn freely. Guns work. It is not the best helicopter control, but it kind of works. We could actually try to tackle this problem by making our, well, sheeting stuff, if you'd so say, a bit more forceful. I actually done one helicopter that doesn't use any of these systems, but it takes so long to make it kind of that tweaked. So maybe if you want faster results, then you can use this, but if you feel that you want to tweak much, then for heaven's sake do it. Okay, we changed the weight of our little gyro simulator. That sounds like a bad game with all these simulators around, but let's get it to stand, put in can and try. You can see that we have a bit more stability now, and we actually can make our way to fly slightly, but something turns us in one direction. I wonder what that might be. There is a slight unbalance in weight of the sides or something like that. Okay. Aha. These 50 kilos we change, well, we press down. The weight change is quite much. So we do get a bit of this lift or drop when we do it, but we do see that this weight seems to be a bit, just a slight bit, off the middle, which make this a problem, I believe. Let me try to tweak this a bit. I believe we have a semi-stable flight. I must proclaim. I have been trying to tweak a bit. I've tried some different things, and this seems to be a quite okay movement. Of course, I fly much worse when I'm talking at the same time, but it's a quite stable flight, and I believe that this might be how much I will tweak this up in the tutorial. I will tell you what I have changed. I tried some different things. Let's see if those are now as they would. Lift by plane normal, efficiency 150 on each of these. To update these, you reload and then apply it again to like change the values. Now I did it with the same. So I do believe that we kind of have a well, it's not a very good helicopter, but it kind of works. If you have a larger engine than I have, or have a more power band of lifting force, I just wanted to say this because I sometimes use this. If you have an advanced input, you can have it between 0 and 100, and then you can like change exactly how many % of throttle you will have. Then you will wire that directly to this, so you'll have like variable throttle. Let's have it to, let's set this up. Start at 0, please. No, 0. And change per second, maybe like that. You will increase by plus, decrease by numpad enter. Place it down, use your wiring tool, have throttle on that one, and now let's see if we actually, yes, it's unfrozen. Get in. Now your throttle will be controlled by this little thing. You can actually see how many throttle we have. Oh, and a little detail, we have no fuel. Let me just refill. Alright, now we are full and good. Okay, back to like 50, 64, we go up to 92, 100, you can set it down to 90. We have some something is in slight imbalance, but with this you can set an exact point where you are hovering, which is really nice. Also, you don't need to hold any button to make this. Whoa, this is dangerous. But anyways, this helicopter kind of works. It's not the best, I would not say this, but it does work, and we use very few means to fly this. And it's ACF legit helicopter, no thrusters on this, no hoverballs or no kind of that shit. We however half sheet with our little gyro or keep upright, but well, I'd say we have a working helicopter. So, thank you very much for watching. This is Gmodism Total Nerdy channel officially out. I will fly by the text. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing it, because I put up regular content for you. Also, like the video if you liked it, and I will be seeing you in future videos. Gmodism officially out. Oh, why did I do that? This is a damage I got from star-made controls. Oh well, we're back on track fast. Now and again. Okay, come on. Best pilot in the world. Gmodism Aviation School. Oh yes. Come on. Mayday, mayday, we kind of crashed, but this is Wiremod, we are okay. Lol. Well, I guess this little flight show will be it, so thank you for staying. Gmodism out for real.